Gregory Peck once said that when he watched the raw footage from a particular scene early in his career, he felt deeply disappointed in himself. It was a rare confession from a man the world viewed as the very symbol of calm, dignity, and moral strength. In the early 1960s, especially after To Kill a Mockingbird, Peck became Hollywood's quiet conscience, the actor whose steady presence seemed untouched by the chaos around him. But behind that composed exterior lived a man constantly wrestling with the unpredictable personalities that shaped Hollywood's golden age. Peck valued discipline, preparation, and respect for the craft, principles not always shared by the stars he worked with. Time and again, he encountered behavior that tested his patience, sometimes even his faith in the industry. One of the earliest shocks came while working with Marlon Brando on the Missouri Breaks. Producers had reassured Peck that Brando had matured, that he had left behind the eccentricities that once defined him. But when filming began in Montana, Peck immediately realized he'd been misled. Brando arrived late, toting strange personal items and experimenting with methods so unconventional that the crew often didn't know whether to laugh or take cover. While Brando drifted into scenes guided by impulse and instinct, Peck arrived at dawn, script in hand, grounding himself in control and clarity. Their two worlds, one anchored, one chaotic, collided in ways that left Peck quietly shaken. A similar tension arose when working with Frank Sinatra on Captain Newman. MD Sinatra's charisma and fame filled every set he walked onto, but so did his unpredictability. Peck, ever the professional, found it difficult to adapt to a partner who approached acting more like a pastime than a calling. Their differences produced a visible strain, though the friction strangely amplified their on-screen chemistry. Richard Burton presented a different challenge altogether. Brilliant, fiery, and openly self-destructive, Burton seemed to resent everything Peck represented: restraint, composure, and almost old-world elegance. Burton mocked that image publicly, perhaps because it reflected qualities he struggled to find in himself. Peck, unwilling to fuel the conflict, simply refused to work with him. The choice quietly ended a potential collaboration and created one of Hollywood's most whispered rivalries. Even John Wayne, another towering figure of the era, found himself on the opposite end of Peck's convictions. Their differences were philosophical rather than personal, yet they created a distance neither man ever managed to bridge. Wayne's booming presence clashed with Peck's inward calm, and for decades the two lived as parallel legends who could never find common ground. And then there were the eccentrics, like Orson Welles, whose brilliance often arrived wrapped in disorder. Peck admired genius but struggled with showmanship that overshadowed the work itself. Through it all, Gregory Peck maintained his sense of purpose. Hollywood, with all its shine and shadows, offered him endless tests of patience and character. But he endured them with quiet strength, proving that in an industry built on illusion, integrity could still leave the most lasting mark.